Hello and welcome to everyone to the Charge at Work virtual briefing for CalSTART members. My name is Joe Plummer. I am a program manager here at CalSTART for the Charge at Work program. I'm joined by Jason Zimbler, our light duty vehicle director, as well as Roxana Smith and Olivia Logadice on our team. And I'd also like to introduce our partners from Fourth and EV Noir. From Fourth, Alexandra Everett is on the call, and from EV Noir, Brandon Oldham is on the call. I just want to give both of them a quick minute to introduce themselves as well. Alexandra, would you like to do a quick intro?
Sure. Thanks, Joe. Hello, everyone. My name is Alexandra Everett. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a program manager at Fourth, working on our Charge at Work effort, but also the eval certification program that we'll give you a brief introduction to today as well. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Alexandra. Brandon, would you like to do a quick intro?
Yeah. Hey, good morning, afternoon, everyone. I'm Brandon Oldham. I'm the infrastructure and EV solutions lead at EV Noir. A little bit about EV Noir. We're an award-winning consultancy group passionate about shaping a fair e-mobility future. So our focus lies on promoting diverse and equitable e-mobility solutions across electric, connected, shared, and autonomous technologies. Happy to be here this morning. Thanks, Joe.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brandon. Now I'd like to hand it off to Jason to kick the presentation off. Please hold your questions till the end, and we'll get going here.
Thank you, Joe. Audio's coming through okay? Great, thanks. Appreciate the handoff. As Joe said, I'm the director for the CalSTART light duty vehicle program, of which Charge at Work is housed within, and I'm happy to be with you today. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Today's session is being recorded and will be posted on the Charge at Work website, so you can catch back up with this information there if you need to listen through again. Of course, you can reach out to us at any point, chargeatwork.org. We're going to go over our new workplace charging program today, and as far as Zoom etiquette, please keep your line muted, hold your questions. This is a compact presentation today. We're going to go through about 15 minutes of presentation, and then we'll have about 10 minutes for Q&A. During the Q&A, please introduce yourself and your company, and when you're ready to get going and ask a question, and come off mute. So again, thanks. So what is Charge at Work, and why are we here today? Department of Energy funded a very important effort to increase workplace charging through a campaign program that provides education, outreach, and technical assistance. And a number of companies and entities are working hand in hand on this effort. You met Fourth today, and then there's another group also working on workplace charging outreach under the campaign lead, Columbia Willamette Clean City Coalition. So this program is going to provide for you technical assistance, the ability to learn about workplace charging, how to do it, to walk you through various scenarios of how implementation would go. And throughout that whole process, we are the concierge that are going to help you get from an early understanding, or wherever you are in the journey at the sort of start point that you engage with us. We're going to help you get a little further towards getting charging into your work site. And that's, of course, to get people more comfortable with the idea of EV adoption. We are going to target our installations and our outreach to areas of disadvantaged communities, and ensure that we have an equitable access to workplace charging and to EV adoption. And the goal in total is to get work charging and ubiquitous and cost effective, and potentially even if there's a desire to collect fees from drivers, there could be a modest revenue generator. There's a number of people working together on this effort, and I won't go through all of the logos you see here, but we have some of our key subs near the top, and then we have outreach partners that are going to help us connect with businesses locally. and connect with sustainability groups, connect with public officials, all the aspects of outreach to make sure our message is getting out to employers. Why are we doing this? Well, 3/4 of EV owners express an interest in workplace charging. It's a critical piece of a fabric of charging options that make it possible for you to own an EV and confidently charge and not have range anxiety. And a majority of drivers are concerned about access at home or the ability to have a certain charging point that's available to them on a regular basis. Either they're multi-unit dwelling residents or renters, or any number of reasons why charging needs at work make an important piece of the picture. The case for workplace charging covers a whole host of themes and considerations. You're taking away range anxiety for your employees. You're giving them the confidence to be able to drive an EV. From the standpoint of how your organization is positioned, you're building goodwill and trust with your workforce, and that contributes to employee satisfaction and acquisition and retention. Your company's carbon footprint and that of your employees is being reduced with charging and with driving electric and transportation decarbonization. There's a really fundamental alignment with sustainability goals, which ties to that reduction of carbon footprint. If your site happens to be a distributed generation site, a solar site, or a wind site, you are providing that electric mobility for truly zero carbon. So there's a wonderful link between renewables. And then as we get into more advanced grid fundamentals, more grid modalities, we unlock the opportunity for V2G, V2B capabilities such as resiliency, discharging back to the building, possibly to the grid. So there's a whole host of sort of the why. Who are the users that we're targeting for this program? It's employees. At a work site, there could be a number of use cases for how charging fits the picture for the company. It could be that the company has fleet vehicles, light duty fleet vehicles, medium duty, heavy duty, and they're taking advantage of charging. And that's a functional use case. It could be that there's a retail organization and there's a desire to have that charging available for customers. Where we're focused here really is on facilitating EV adoption amongst workers and employees, and having a certainty of charging for them unlocks that potential for reducing range anxiety and enabling EV adoption. While there are scenarios or varieties of implementation that would allow for dual use or triple use for employees in the midday and then fleet vehicles overnight. And when we encourage all of that creative thinking, sort of the main path here is that there are chargers that are available to employees, that are exclusively available to employees. And then there may be systems where you work with employees to move their vehicles throughout the day if there are fewer chargers than vehicles. And we look forward to the conversations about solutions as we work with you over time. But just sort of giving you the sense of the scope. It's a level 2 charger generally solution that we're talking about, and it's dedicated to employees. So I'm going to take you through one of the main tools that's available through our program, and that's this web resource. It's a set of web tools. It's a resource center that's going to give you educational materials, guidance documents, best practices materials, and then also an interactive portal experience in which you can get some rough back of envelope sizing and cost and schedule project guidance for an actual implementation at your site. And so I'll kind of give you a sense of that. So the easiest way to understand the website is just an available informational resource, and there's going to be lots of materials available for download. But as you're ready to move further and consider an implementation, we're here to help you understand what's involved, how long it's going to take, what it's going to cost, how many plugs you might need, what kind of plugs you're going to need. So I'll give you a preview of a site that's in construction right now, and we're working towards a launch in a few months. There'll be a number of main use cases that are available to you when you come. You can take a look at incentives that are present for your territory, whether that's utility incentives, state incentives, things like that, you can give us some information about your facility. How many parking spots do you have? How many chargers you expect to need? How far your parking spaces are from your electrical service or your panel. And we can take those inputs and give you back a sort of rough order of magnitude on your costs, the cost of installation, the cost of equipment, the cost of operating the chargers as well. You're likely going to want to have some maintenance contracts or things of that nature. And we can give you a preview of what that'll look like. Inside this portal, once you've provided us some information, we're going to sort of build you a case and build you the financial picture of it. And we'll help you assess the difference, the deltas between expected and actual costs. That you can vary all the variables as you wish, the chargers types, whether they're smart chargers or not, the number of chargers, all of these factors. And then as we build that picture for you, you can tweak it and look at if maybe it's a budgeting exercise. You want to take a look at this so you can figure out how much it's going to be for a future budgeting cycle. We also give you a project plan, and you can have a sense as you move through what steps are involved and how long it typically takes. Of course, the things may change in real time or in real life, but this will give you a guidance and a way to help you navigate the whole project. And we're there to help you through that step too. We can be a resource and a support network. As I mentioned, we can zoom in for you on the costs and all the aspects of costs, the equipment itself, the chargers, the installation, whether there's make-ready support from your utility, all the operational costs that are involved. And we will look at different business models for you, whether that's owning the chargers or whether you want to use a charging as a service option. And we can illustrate those for you, educate on that, and make it clear how the way that it can fit for your organization, whether there's a capital outlay or whether it's all going to be sort of embedded in operating costs through an as a service model. We'll give you an opportunity to learn about different chargers, the capabilities of the chargers, and have a sense of which one might be right for your site. All this and more is going to be available on our soon to launch implementation portal. And so today, just a preview, and looking forward to meeting you there and answering any of the questions that come up. And I'll pass now to Joe to preview the eval process.
Thank you, Jason. Eval is Forth's EV Adoption Leadership Certification Program, and it's modeled after the U.S. Green Building Council's LEED rating system, and it's designed to recognize employers that are going above and beyond to support employees in their journey to electrify their commute, whether it be through EV charging or through simply engaging them in the workplace. And if you go to the next slide, there are a number of ways that employers can get points through the eval certification, and there are different levels. So everything from engaging employees to initiating planning and evaluation. Obviously, a lot of this is to increase access to charging stations, but the eval certification program also recognizes employers that are leading with innovative and regional programs and showcasing broader sustainable transportation leadership. So there's a lot of opportunity here for employers to really move the needle and take a broader approach to sustainable transportation and be recognized in their pursuit of supporting workplace charging and sustainable transportation for their employees. If you go to the next slide. As I mentioned, there are multiple levels to the certification program as a recognition of excellence in similar way to the LEED certification program. There's kind of a stair-step approach to higher levels of recognition and digital badges and ways for the employers to get recognized at different levels. And Alexandra is also on the call, so if you have questions at the end, we can field those about eval as well. Next slide, please. So at this point, we want to take a moment and engage you all and ask a set of survey questions about workplace charging, and then we can proceed. So if you should see a poll popping up right now with a handful of questions.
We should give folks a few more seconds and then go to the next question. I want to jump in quickly here and speak to the fifth question on that second poll screen. we are encouraging the folks that we help to our audience to engage with us, to learn, to move towards workplace charging, to get to a comfort with installation, actually go ahead and put chargers in, or undertaking other activities that encourage transportation electrification, going electric for employees. This is the pledge is a key instrument for us in terms of how we register intent and acknowledge your great work and the champions who are driving this forward. And we want to not just support you with education, but be able to recognize the good work you're doing. So pledge signatories can be recognized through our outreach activities, through our marketing, through our publicity activities. And we're, I'm going to encourage folks who meet us and learn about our program to sign the Charge at Work pledge and be champions for advancing workplace charging. Okay, let's show the results. Great, thank you, everybody.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah, just can you take to the next slide? So there, as Jason mentioned, there are a number of ways to engage with the program right now. We're working towards an October launch of the implementation portal that you saw a preview of. We'd love to collaborate with you on announcements and communications. We'd love to work with you on ribbon cutting and ride and drive events, and of course, sharing resources and case studies, and hopefully work with you on being early signatories on the Charge at Work pledge. So at this point, I think we can open up to questions from the audience and address anything you might have. I think there's something in the chat.
Folks who want to ask questions, please come off mute and introduce yourself and your company if you can.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm Diane Nelson. I am with Karma Automotive. We are an EV manufacturer. So I wanted to just get information on this, but I guess my question to you is I'm trying to see where this would fit in, because obviously we already have chargers, and we're building chargers for the employees also, like but another person in the division's doing that. I'm looking at more of our commercial vehicle department, maybe for the fast chargers and bringing in an area where people can charge larger vehicles. Are dealerships and like manufacturers of EV vehicles exempt from this kind of, because you're saying we can get rebates, correct?
Well, our program is an outreach and education campaign, and our goal is to close an information gap and to direct you to the presence of available incentives that exist for some utilities and states. So depending on where the site is in question, where the charging could go, there very well could be, and incentives for the equipment, for make ready, for installation. And we will have as a feature of the site an opportunity to target or isolate the available incentives for each zip code, say. So we'll illustrate incentives that are for any charging level. They may be different. There would be likely different incentive levels for a DC fast charge versus a level 2 plug for different programs, but we'll illustrate all of those incentives. And as I said, we certainly conceive of implementation scenarios where it's not just level 2, where there's fast charge, and that meets a critical use case, and that could be a piece of building a workplace charging fabric. But we are agnostic in a way to the level. We think that the likely implementation is level 2.
Okay, I'm not really clear on the difference between like a level 2 and a level 3.
Sure. So level 2 is around, somewhere between 5 to 20 kilowatts, 3 to 20 kilowatts, but 7, 8, 9, 10 kilowatts of power. And that is typically like a dryer plug, a 220 volt, 30 amp, 40, 50, 60 amp service. And that charges a car in anywhere between, 2 to 10 hours. A fast charge is, 500 volts, 300 amp or more, and it can charge a car in 15 minutes to 45 minutes. And those are an order of magnitude more expensive, and serve a very specific critical function to enable long distance travel or quicker charging.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Are there any additional questions from the audience? We'd love to answer any questions you have.
I would love to hear if any of the folks on the call actually have any charging programs that are in the pipeline right now. So maybe we can pose that question to them.
When you say charging programs, like we're in the middle of, and I'm not on this project at Karma, but they took like the Southern SCE's program where they come and install a bunch of chargers for employees and all that stuff, and they pay for it. We're doing that program. I don't know if that is what you're asking, if it's the same question, but.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Diane.
It's like it takes a long time though. We started it like maybe a year ago, 8 months ago, a year ago, and they still aren't installed. They're still like planning the contracting. I mean, it takes a long time for that. So I don't know if there's a better solution. I mean, now we're already like knee deep, but like for the future, because we might be expanding. That's why I'm on this call, because we have another side of the building that we might be devoting to commercial vehicle sales. We electrify existing fleet vehicles and convert a gas powertrain into a electric. And so when we sell those to fleet companies and stuff like that, we would need a place for those people to come in, and also any. So, but you're saying, just, I have another question, sorry. You're saying that this is like for a charge at work for employee program. So I know that you probably want to do customized, like one-on-one situations like in your portal, but if it's for public use, like not just for employees, does that change anything? Like when it comes to like the rebates and the program that you're that you are helping with and all that stuff?
So I think the rebates are will be specific to the utility or the locality that providing the rebate, but in general, I think they are open to solutions that are provided to both employees and the public. And I think that's pretty consistent. So I think if you're looking to do something that would be open to the public, that would probably qualify under a rebate program, depending on your utility and municipality.
Thanks.
I see a question, hands raised from Wayne and Troy. Wayne, do you want to go?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I had to switch microphones, apologize. My company has about 1,400 employees, and we're looking to put in workplace charging. But those employees are across more than 30 locations in 8 states and maybe a dozen different utilities districts. And so, you know, I wouldn't say we have a program yet, but at our first 3 locations, our largest locations, we've got, you know, quotes for EVSE equipment, quotes for turnkey installation of the equipment, and we have a number of network providers, ChargePoint, Blink, those kind of people that are interested in using our sites, but we do not want public access charging. We're a heavy duty truck dealer, and so we have DC fast charging for the equipment we sell, but we don't want to encourage what the truck drivers would call four-wheelers, you know, the passenger cars in and out of our lots for public charging. So so we do have some pretty large scale intent, but we don't have a cohesive program yet to speak of, and would love some help coordinating that.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
No, that's something we are eager to help with. We have templates of programs. We have guidance documents about how you can create a layout or rollout and a roadmap to expanding with, you know, a certain, start with a pilot set of locations and then build from there. We can advise on the number of plugs you may need over time. So happy to talk more about a plan, building your company's plan.
Okay, I look forward to it.
Troy, I see your hand raised. Troy, are you on mute?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so as part of a larger project, you know, we deployed 5 workplace chargers here at our facility in Ontario, California. And, you know, also part of the larger project was renewable energy generation. So we give that to our employees to charge for free here on those chargers. And, you know, we've got about 6 participants that use it on a regular basis. I was drawn to this because I thought there might be opportunity to work with this program and suggest or offer to my organization other opportunities at our other locations in tandem with heavy duty charging. Kind of looking right now at the EPA and what they have to offer. So, I understand there's a petition or a initiative to create a corridor from Mexico to basically Canada, and looking for opportunities to participate in that, and install both level 2s and DC fast chargers that would be not only behind the fence, but in front of the fence to present a public offering as well as a private offering.
Yeah, that's a great scenario, and I think we're going to talk to a lot of companies who have a desire to not only think about this for employees. They want to do that, and they also want to serve other audiences, other customers, other use cases, and we can advise on some of those choices. We'll have a little bit more probably content that guides towards level 2, but we'll certainly be able to talk about how charging can serve dual use and address multiple audiences.
Okay, well, I look forward to visiting the site and learning what I can from that, and talking to you and other members of CALSTART.
Thanks, Trey. We'll stay in touch.
Well, I think we're at time, but if you have additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you all for joining our briefing for CALSTART members today. Please take a moment to go to the website, chargeatwork.org, to sign up to receive updates from us. And we'll keep you updated on Charge at Work developments and our public launch this fall. Again, that's chargeatwork.org, and you can click sign up, and we'll get you plugged into all our communications. And we obviously encourage you to sign the pledge, and we can work with you on whatever you have going on at your business. So thank you again for attending the webinar, and looking forward to collaborating with you.
Thanks, everybody.